I made a prediction in 2016. You might have ignored it then. Oh, good morning. Good morning. I got my brim kind of turned up like this is really like one of those little, Gilligan kind of hats, but I have it turned up so now it's kind of like an Aussie kind of hat so I can hear. Because I'm not shaving my head until I have to. And I'm really just dressed from the waist up. Completely naked from the waist down, because who's going to know? I'm kidding. I am not. But did you see the thing on the news a couple of weeks ago where the guy on the Good Morning Show had on a suit coat and stuff and didn't know that his naked thighs were totally exposed as he did his report? I definitely can relate. I was really not doing anything, just like sitting still in my sleep shorts and stuff until I accidentally on a Zoom call one day stood up to go get something and the gig was up. So now I actually, as you see, wear shorts now. See? No. So only because it could have been a lot worse than just my sleep shorts, if you know what I mean. So anyway, how are you guys? Welcome to today's installment. It's Friday, TGIF. And I didn't know if we were going to be here this morning or swept away through the eye of the tornado, because we had tornado watches, the kind where you got to go in the basement and stuff if the siren goes off all night long. It was torrential downpour for about 7 straight hours here. Flash flood warnings here in Chicagoland area. Well, I'm in the suburbs, Naperville. I slept right through it. I'm lucky I didn't wake up in with the Munchkins and the Lollipop Guild welcoming me. So it was, but I love that stuff. I love the thundering and the lightning. I just like, just Brian, he's on the other hand down there. He kept running up here. I'm going to come wake you up if we have to go to the basement. They just said that it's a tornado's been spotted and it's headed this way. Then he ran out of the room. I was like, whatever. Yin and yang. But anyway, welcome to today's show. I have a great show for you today. I'm really excited about it. And we are live streaming, so no cussing. That's only I get to do that. Damn it. I'm kidding. You can cuss if you know how to spell it right. We're streaming live across Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and of course, from our home base out in Phoenix, Arizona, E360 TV Live. And I want to say hats off, happy Friday to our sponsors here at Bathrobe Moments, the wonderful people. I almost said Tony. Lord Jesus, shaking my head. My first senior moment of the day. Not bad. It took me 6 minutes. Usually I have it in 6 seconds. I'm getting better. Troy Rocks and his team over at symposium.us, where they are turning your conversation into what? You heard it. Currency. That's absolutely right. I told you before, and I'll tell you again, I know personally because I've done it over 20 some times. So get over it. No matter what you're good at, telling stories, tutoring, art classes, dance classes, yoga, a workout experience, whatever it is, go and make an offering. Put it over there. People will come and pay you to show them what you already know. I'm telling you, it's a great way to turn your cell phone into a payphone. That's symposium.us. Get over to Google app or the App Store and download what's that thing called? Oh, yeah, an app today. Symposium.us. So that's the bell of purpose you hear in the background. This little doozy is new to season 4, and what it means is it represents a chance for every one of you, including myself, to become a part of something greater than ourselves. You know, that's what we all innately long to do. So when our guest says something and you're like, ooh, grabbing the church band, can I get an amen up in here? We're picking up what he's dropping off. You're going to hear that bell ring. Throw some hearts on the screen. Let them know that we support them. That's what it's all about. And also, it's a great time. It's not going to kill you, and it's free. Your figure won't bleed, I promise. Start a watch party. Share the broadcast, or just invite a friend or two. Don't hoard all this good content to yourself. Pay it forward, right? That's the bell of purpose. So today, we're continuing in the vein of uplifting and elevating ourselves through sharing of ideas. And today is no different. We have a young man here today by the name of Darren Brower. I hope I said it right. DJ is what I call him. So when you add all those other letters, it gets a little dicey for me. So DJ is here. He is the founder and the president of a social media marketing agency by the name of F2 Flatface. And we're going to find out how that name came about, how the business came about, how long it took him to build it. And we're working with him right now. So we're going to talk about that and a whole bunch of other stuff. DJ.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm going over to the comments off the jump because I have a feeling. Hi, oh, you know what? I know how Mr. Rogers felt when he was getting dressed and talking about, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood and all, and I'd come running. Couldn't wait. Sit down in front of the, and Captain Kangaroo. We all know how I loved him because he was my theme song for the last 2 years. Where's my Captain Kangaroo coaster? Uh-oh. Okay, I see bad things in the future for a certain cleaning lady because I do not see. Okay, anyway, that's another thing. So look at all these wonderful people. Karen Johnson, Tea Leaves Parker, Zachary. That must be, digging the hat. Well, let me put you on the screen for that one. Hi, Zachary Viath. You know him?
Oh, yeah, that Zach is on the F2 team.
Oh, hi. I can't wait to meet you. No, see, it looks like a fedora, you guys, but I kind of turned it into one. But you guys can't see, but I have an entire hat closet on the corner of my desk. It's my props section. Mandy Kikta. Good morning to you, Crystal Crockett. Where you been, girl? Did the aliens finally bring you back? Good morning, Crystal. Missed you. Crystal was a guest on the show a couple months ago. She has a great nonprofit. Type in your connectors, Crystal. And I want to know, did you get with Whirlpool? You got a refrigerator coming? I want to know, because if not, I'll call them myself. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to, you guys, the floor is open at any time. If you have any questions about marketing your brand, what you can do to increase your brand, Crystal, listen up. A lot of this can help you today as well, and all of you. So DJ, F2, first of all, what's the name stand for?
Yeah, so it stands for flat face, which was a term used against me when I was younger to bully me. And up until now, you'll realize, or for me, I'm realizing, learning how to love myself. Things that I didn't. So obviously, growing up, I was called flatface from my peers because of my profile. And for many, many years, it's something I wanted to change about myself. Wanted to be like the rest, question why is this the thing that I got going on. And, 3 months ago, I was really considering actually getting reconstructive surgery because I was tired of it. And I play rugby, so I justified. I said, it's not because I want to look different. It's because I want to breathe better. So if I go get this nose job, I can. And there were some points in my life recently where I had a moment to sit back and reflect, and I never do that. And when I did that, things became very clear to me. Things became very clear to me. I was reading a book. Where's this book? Self-love, and this is the journey that I'm on right now. A lot of self.
That deserves a bell ringer.
Yeah. So that book and life and reflecting has led to the agency's name, F2 Flatface.
I love it. And I want to just throw this in there because I have it on great authority. I've known that secret a long, long time, even before I used it in my own favor. And when I say secret, I mean, if I tell this to coaching clients all the time, find an autobiography, excuse me, or a biography of someone that you truly admire in history, no matter who it is. People know I love Lucille Ball. Oh, I almost got myself sued. Help me welcome to the show, because she is under contract. My sidekick, my best gal, been with me all 4 years of this show, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Now I'm reading her book right now. I got it for Valentine's Day. I'm working through it. I have a collector's doll over there of her. And why? Not because she made me crack up and stuff, but because when I first read her book, she was the one who taught me that most people who become legends, have a legacy piece, do something to really change this world, when they got to the point where they became the names that we know, it was when they decided to embrace the thing that they liked least about themselves, the thing that people tried to use against them, their own personal scarlet letter, if you will. And so why should it be no different for you? It isn't. It's that way for all of us. So I just want to put that out there for those of you watching right now, and those who will watch in the future, the replays. If there's something you don't like about yourself, walk around it. As people hear me say, anything that stays consistent in your world, you better stand in front of it. Look at it from top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, and corner to corner, and corner to corner, because it could be your greatest gift and your greatest gift to the world. You can never be the blessing until you see the blessing. And obviously, DJ, you saw the blessing. And so now you're using it. So what does F2 do? And tell us about the team members.
Yeah, so F2, Flatface, a social media marketing agency, helps clients, businesses, small organizations, and individuals share their story consistently.
Key there, consistently.
Consistently, yeah. But no, so back to it. For me, social media is evolving. Every day it's different. There's something new. TikTok is something where I'm learning how to TikTok. I call my little brother, like, how does this work? And so when I was younger, YouTube, I'm gonna tell you about this later, but YouTube outed me. I used to watch YouTube videos on the Trevor Project.
Oh, we love the Trevor Project.
Right, and it was the It Gets Better campaign. And as a digital adolescent, that moved to MySpace, that moved to whatever. And I realized that these communities on the digital landscape are what helped me when I didn't have anyone, when I felt alone.
Almost like Second Life.
Now social media has gotten so strong that we recognize it now, and it has some negative sides to it. You have influencers that are not really showing the real life. And
one word for that one.
Girl. And
I'm just saying.
It affects a lot of people because we feel like we have to live up to it.
True.
That was one of the things that bothered me as someone that would really go through Instagram. And I would complain about it, and I would complain about it. And with the experience that I had in my background, I said, let's do something about it. What if there was a social media agency that helped businesses, that helped small organizations, that helped nonprofits, that helped individuals share their story?
Okay.
Make them feel like they have to be this perfect little thing, because we're not perfect. If we, at F2, we don't believe in branding. We believe in sharing your voice and sharing your message. When you brand yourself, you put yourself in a pigeonhole. And as you're expressing yourself to your following, if you strengthen your voice and you strengthen your message, all of that evolves over time. As your voice changes and your message changes, you're not locking yourself into a specific identity. Now, branding is good. branding is good, but the intention behind your branding, what you're willing to put out there, we say our being powers are doing. That's Oprah, Oprah baby. Our being powers are doing with our intention in mind. Let's use social media to let people know they're not alone in whatever they're facing, whatever they're going through.
That's true.
Let's
That's
bring
true.
the human element back to it all.
I want to show something when you talked about imperfect. This is what I tell people. I should have actually capitalized the T, but I can't see well. I have a little light today in here because it's so dark outside. But perfect is really only found within imperfection. That's the only place perfect really exists. So imagine that's a capital T, and you see the word PERFECT. It is inside, nestled perfectly inside the word imperfection. So when you go look to your imperfections, and that's the one place you're going to find your closest definition to perfection is inside of that. Because you are perfect. We are perfect. There are no mistakes. I say this every day. There are no mistakes, only miracles and blessings that are in the process that you're making. So just remember that. So let's talk about the bullying really quick. We have so much ground to cover, and this is going to fly by, trust. When was the last time, at what age would you say was your last bullying experience?
Oh, jeez.
Because people always think it's kids.
No, it happens all the time. So when I was a host at a restaurant here in our area, here in Milwaukee, must have been like at least 23. Again, my facial features are very defined. I'm a very different looking individual. I'm a host at the host stand.
Okay.
And, it's a couple. It's an older gentleman and his wife, and they come in. And I'm very observant to my surroundings. I've had to be. It's expensive. And he walks up to the host stand. I tell him his weight. Him and his wife go off to the left. And my eyes carry. And I could see that interaction between him and his wife and him cracking the joke. And it was confirmed when she looked back at me.
Oh, yeah.
And it was that, I've had many of those moments. There's this mall that we used to go to when I lived in Michigan with my parents. And when I was younger, I didn't know how to articulate it. But every time we went to that mall, I had the worst experiences of being made fun of. The worst. And my parents would bring it up, Sunday drive, let's go. I said, no, I don't want to go. Why don't you? Now, we have many malls.
Okay.
This mall, I do not want to go to. No, I'm okay. I don't want to go.
So bullying's been a big part of your life.
Oh, for sure.
So do you ever see yourself or your brand supporting anti-bullying or that sort of thing? Because you got the story. It's always nice. That's one of the beautiful things about being an entrepreneur. You get to stamp your story on everything. It's like a heart print, a life print.
No, that would definitely be the goal. I mean, here's the thing: we want to shift the way people use social media so that people are impacted in a positive way. That should stay along with our journey if you follow us on our social media. But to go out and speak on it and share the story and share you're not alone. I give me the chance, please. Okay,
I'm giving you the chance right now. I know that it's on my printer upstairs. I forgot to pull it off, but I'm sure you have it there.
Yeah.
What? How do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Your poem. I know you have a poem that kind of speaks to your experience. Let's go ahead if you feel comfortable sharing that. We're 10 minutes away from the bottom of the hour, the halfway mark already. For those of you who have just come in, we're here today with DJ Brewer. He's the founder, CEO, president, however you want to dice it, of F2 Social Media Marketing Agency out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's here today to talk about the power of social and how to use it to your benefit and for the benefit of uplifting and supporting others. So we're going to get into that right now. He's talking about how he got to the name F2, which was flat-faced from being bullied all through life for his profile. And now he's going to share with us a poem about that experience. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look at my phone if you guys don't mind.
It's okay.
But Flatface, that's the name deemed to me by two little boys sitting on the bus seat behind me. My age? Probably about 6 or 8. I remember that day vividly. It is what turned being bullied and teased into a mind-numbing reality. Whispers haunted me down the hallway, causing me to feel anxious, causing me to feel angry. I am no other name but Flatface. This memory resides between the ages of 16 and 18, which is parallel to the time frame of being in high school, the place where it was cool to dress in a hint of Abercrombie and Fitch and act like the toughest bitch. So
Okay. Girl.
hoping this alteration would alter my luck of being stuck with the name Flatface. Sadly, it did not. So I changed my ways and added piercings to the mix, but that too did not alter the view of the person still giggling from across the room, still whispering the name Flatface. See, by this age, 16, I became so good at picking up when I was the focus of someone else's burn book. I could sense it miles away. I was so good that some days I took a detour so that for 1 second I could feel the pain no more. But sadly, I still did. So I catered to the pain by manipulating it so clearly seen on my wrist. But here's the twist. It did nothing but remind me that I am nothing but someone else's laughing key. They used to lock up their own physical dissatisfaction. You see, my flat face was their distraction to their own problems. I realize this bullying game is nothing but a cycle. A game of he said, she said, they said, shh. Dude, look over there. How can he even breathe? Becky, he must have got hit by a basketball or something. Sorry. Flashback. I promise to keep my rhymes on track, but 1 in 12 students attempt to end their life, and that's a fact. And if you're sitting in your seat saying you're lying, I got proof. I am 1 of 12 sitting in this room. But let me clear up this room's silence with a question. Have you ever heard the phrase, think further than your nose? If so, I encourage you to do so, just in case. But then again, don't take my word for it. I'm just a flatface.
Wow. Well, I got a chill there at the end. I'll ring the bell on that one. So that was obviously a healing vehicle for you. And I'm really proud of you as we get more and more into the story. Already I can say that because facing it, when you take your power back, when you take those things that people use against you. I believe in the promises. I am a believer. I'm spiritual, but I do believe in God. And I do know that he said, no weapons formed against us, but he didn't say anything about weapons that we willfully hand to others and allow them to use against us. When we embrace it and say, okay, I received that, we're giving them permission to use it against us. And there's nothing he can do about that, right? Because it's free will and was our choice. And we only have 2 choices, and it's the one we make or the one we don't. And so I'm grateful to you for making the right choice and for sharing that with us today. It was a beautiful thing. Put some hearts on the screen for our guest DJ, won't you? That took a lot of courage. So DJ, turning the corner here, let's talk about social media marketing. Tell people, explain, give us the Reader's Digest overview, if you will, of what it is people come to you for.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, it's about sharing the message and maintaining and building the relationship with your following on a consistent basis, extremely consistent basis. Wherever your following may be, whether that's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Here's the deal. Let's look at influencers. When influencers first came out, people kind of made fun of them. They're like, "Oh, you're an IG model. You think you're a model, huh?" And then it evolved where influencers were now the thing that people use. Companies use them because they feel like people know you, people get to know you, people like you. Well, then what's happened over the past few years with that is these influencers are not really being themselves, but we're all getting confused in the mix of it. So people love vulnerability. People love the journey. People love understanding you. We're multifaceted beings. And so we help our clients share all sides of them. Dylan Ali is one of our clients, a meditation breathwork coach and also a motivational speaker. The guy's amazing. There's many sides to him.
He is.
Many sides to him. And the world needs to see it. The world needs to see it. And so we help him share his message consistently through content creation, through content curation, and then also through content strategy for social media on his LinkedIn, on his Facebook, on his IG. That's a lot. It can be overwhelming. And when you have your niche, when you have your strong foothold, whether that may be a motivational speaker, whatever you speak on, to do that, and then also to manage your social media, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is.
That's why the consistency lacks. So we say, you go do you, and we will do us. But all you have to do is show up.
Right. Because, you know, I know for a fact with my brand, I can't help it. I have to stay in my lane. You know, and my lane is the creation and delivering of the content, because I am the human whistle stop. I believe that my content isn't from me. It comes through me. So through me means that it's coming through me on its way somewhere else. And so I know that I have an obligation to protect it and get it there as safely as possible. I look at my content seriously, DJ, every day as if it's an organ that's on its way to a transplant table. You know how they rush it in and fly it out and keep it protected, and nothing gets to it. Nothing can get at it. And that's exactly how we should look at it, because our stories are priceless. They're absolutely priceless. So I'm just saying that because I know there's somebody out there that's like, you know, yeah, that's well and good for the person who has a wow story. We all have that. We just have to realize it and know how to tell it and how to share it. So when you're doing that, take us down through the assessment. When someone calls you cold off the phone or goes to your website, and so what's the first thing that happens? Let's say I were the person who contacted you, and I found you. Let's see, where did I find you? Oh, that's coming up. What if I found you there? That's your social. That's your Instagram handle. What if I found you on Instagram and I said, wow, what do you guys do?
Yeah. So we hop on a discovery call. We just want to get to know you, what your niche is, what you're doing, what your goals are. But then we do things a little differently. So the F2 team is beyond amazing. I'm very lucky. Zach, Ani, and Aaron have many sides to them as well. A lot of gifts and talents. Zach is a fear coach, and
is a what coach?
A fear coach.
Oh.
And Aaron does a lot of things with mindset. And so as we sit down with our client, we get an understanding of what you want to do. We then tap into those resources, and you get a few hours with Zach, and you get a few hours with Aaron. Zach asking you what's your fear, along with social media, and Aaron asking what's your mindset on it. Because people come in with a lot of things. So maybe some people are working at a corporation, but they have a side hustle. So they say, I'm very concerned. I don't want my work to be nervous that I'm not paying attention to my work, but I also have a message that I want to share. So they walk you through that. As they walk you through that, we begin to understand some of your vulnerabilities and understand your journey.
Sure.
And understand you in that whole process, then we build out your content, and we help you decide like the imagery that goes along with that. We make sure that that voice and that message gets truly captured the way that you're explaining it to us, because it's multifaceted. And then we take all that, and whatever the platform is, because everyone's platform is different, where the traction lies, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, we then plug it into a formula per se, a format that allows you to be consistent. But all you have to do is show up and share.
Okay. That sounds like it's basically painless. You guys take all the heavy lifting, which is a great thing. So, well, I'm curious. I'm trying to figure out, because we don't have that much time today and so many questions, but it seems to me like you took did you pick these people, or were you guys all chosen for each other by something greater than you? It sounds like the law of attraction was at work in a big way.
The law of attraction. It's been an amazing past few months. When I first started this was just me consulting. I was consulting, doing a little bit of everything, photography,
Hi, honey.
Getting back into the videography side of things, the content creation, all of this. And I'm working with my first client. And I was sharing my journey on F2's IG, and people got to see. And I was having conversations with friends. I said to myself, I'd be very nervous to own a business or run a team or have a team. And the universe, the higher being, whatever you believe in, didn't allow me to just stay with consulting. They said, no. Let me tell you the story. A client had a website. The website wasn't done through us. It was done through another third party. They came back and they said, I don't know what's going on here, but it's not working. And I really want this out today. It was my desire. I called Aaron and I said, this is what we need to do, but I don't know how to do it. But I know you have the skill set. Girl came in. Within 4 hours, her and I knocked out that website for the client. The client got the website pushed out that day.
Awesome.
It was in that working relationship, though. I was like, yo, we work really well together. She's like, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
What do you think about joining me on this journey? She goes, I'm down.
Awesome.
And the thing that happened was that we had our moment, and it's like, this makes sense. And the same thing with Ani. Does all the copywriting for us. Very articulate human, but extremely creative. And it just all happened.
Now, you're a young company. How long have you guys been actually out there doing this?
Yeah, so honestly, it's been only a few months, but my experience prior to that is what
everybody brings their life experience to the table.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this real quick. When people are starting a home-based business, a brand, whatever it is, if it's anything that's going to even generate a few pennies, you need to take it seriously because, you know, we've all had that sparkless water jar somewhere in the corner of a room once upon a time, throwing a couple pennies in at a time. And at first, when you throw a couple in, you don't think it's a big deal because it's echoing, it's empty, and they're lonely down there by themselves. But when that joint is half full and you got to get a dolly to take it to the Coinstar machine, and then 4 or 5 bills get paid from all those pennies when the receipt pops out, you look at it in the reality of what it is. Value builds more value. So for people that are thinking that, you know, down the road, or I don't need to have a social media presence, I don't need to do all this stuff for my little you know, cupcake business I do online or whatever. That's not necessarily true. But what a lot of people struggle with, and I know I did at first until I found that nice ooey gooey shooey center that worked all over the place for me. I didn't know if I should let how much should be in my personal world and how much should be a business social, or where the two can meet. So talk about that, because when people get started, they're like, well, I already got a Facebook page. Is it okay to launch a brand from your personal socials, or do you have to go out and have another set that's professional or brand based? Because I know some people have come to me and they have all the different things, but they all have different names.
Yeah, no.
You know, LinkedIn is one thing, and there's no congruency. Talk about that if you could.
Yeah, so there has to be consistency across the board with the messaging, so people know how to find you, people know how to understand you. This happened to us. This literally happened to us a few days ago. When I was setting up all the accounts when it was just me, Instagram told me that I couldn't do what our current tag was. And Aaron said it was at F2_social. And Aaron said, that's very confusing. I go, well, that's the only thing I can do. She goes, yeah, but if you type in F2, yada, yada, yada. So she fixed it. The way Aaron does a lot of things, she fixed it.
Now, why was that a problem? Is there another F2 account on there?
So it was probably a formatting thing. So I did F2_social, and she's like, it should be F2social. And we both looked at it, and it was open for us, so we made the change. But it's important because that's where people know how to tag you in, how to find you, and how to search for you. You have to be. Listen, if you're going to your local coffee shop, right, and there's a lot of distractions or construction or whatever getting in your way, how long are you going to fight to get there? You might just say, I'll just go to McDonald's. Like, it's fine. Not today. I can't. It's the same thing with how you present yourself online. Make sure it's consistent, and make sure that everyone can find you off of what you're putting out there with your name or whatever.
Exactly. Because nobody can offer you an opportunity if they don't know you exist.
Right. And then your second question, it is a bit of a hard transition, you know? When you're starting out, your personal Facebook page and your family and your friends are hyping you up and they're excited for you, and you're doing well and you're building traction. When you're building that traction, this is why we always say, share your journey, share your journey, share your journey. Okay. Because when you share your journey, you share the moments that you mess up, you share your moments that you succeed.
That's right. Vulnerability. Very true. Very true.
You then just come in with excitement and say, guys, I now have a business page. I know I was working off of the personal page, but I'm moving this way, and I would love for you to join my journey there.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. So I had a good one too. Hold on. Senior moment. Second one today. Not too bad though. I mean, I'm well into the hours before the second one showed up. Usually it's never mind. So what about the client? Because I can only, this is really difficult for me because I can only speak from myself. So I feel like I'm telling on myself. I remember when I first started, I thought that the best way was to hire someone and just dump it in their lap. Don't ask me. That's why I pay you. But I now, 4 years later, know that to have a basic understanding of what the people I hire for social and things do is important. Same thing with my videographers, the people that do, anything for me. When I'm building my events, there are people who I trust to do things, but I have to know a surface amount of what's going on so that my vision doesn't get hijacked or derailed. And so I would like you to talk about that, how important it is, because to me, it's a real challenge to take someone's vision and try to keep it in focus and not turn it into something, because a lot of people won't speak up because they think what you're giving them is better, but then they begin resenting it slowly because it's not looking like what they think it should look like as it grows. And that can become a problem later because if, it's your brand, it's like your baby, you know what I'm saying? If you put it in the bassinet or you leave it with a nanny and you leave it and the baby has blonde hair and you come back and she's dyed the baby's hair to brunette, you're gonna be like, bitch, are you crazy? You see what I'm saying? You done changed my baby. Right. So, and that is our baby. We hand you our babies. Here, DJ, can you do something with little Lorenique? Yeah,
no. It's a collaboration. So one of the nice things is we're obviously a smaller agency. We're a boutique agency, I guess we call it. But there's that human aspect. Let's hop on the phone. Let's talk. Let's walk through. The collaboration leads to the fact that this is how you do it. You listen. You shut up and you listen to the client, and you say, and you guide them through it. Sometimes people don't know how to fully articulate, so you ask a few questions. And then they go off, and you capture.
Right.
And you realize that it's, again, a collaboration. So as we're doing this and as we're working as a partnership together, you have the right to say you missed the mark here. That's not me. That's not my voice. Same. We're working on a website for a client right now. Amazing copy, amazing whatever. We did the walkthrough. You know what we did? We asked the client, "Is your wife available?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Can you bring her in?" And we asked the wife, Does
this look like him?
Because who else is gonna know?
Does this sound like him?
It's gonna sound like him, and that's exactly what we did.
That's a great point, and that's a great way of doing that. Because when I first started, I hired a company in the Philippines because that's where everybody was leading me, to do the content on my memes, and I would provide the photo, and then. No, I would provide the quote and then let them choose the image that they thought expressed it the best. And it was like totally off. And I didn't know if I should say anything or not because I was like, well, they're the ones, that know what they're doing. But it didn't sit right in my spirit as a great representation. So I think that there is a great thing. Now, I want to say this here to people. When I'm just saying from my own experience, I can't talk about anything but my experience. I'll tell you this much, though. The great thing about a boutique company like this one, F2, is that you can get at them. When I'm doing something through, even in the training, the due diligence portion, if you're watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos or whatnot, and you start implementing those things, and if you have a question, you can go back and rewatch, but you can't pick up the phone or go to the door and say, wait a minute, can we sit down? This isn't making sense to me. Or am I doing this right? But when we have a live person, because it's social, a lot of people think it can all be done hands off. It cannot. And the intimidation factor or just plain out laziness, it can keep a lot of us or send a lot of us down a path that isn't going to bode well in the future, in the long run. So I believe what you're doing is really great. And I love the fact that, you know, because I can drive right up to your house.
Now here's the trend.
Oh, so you just gonna ignore me? Boom, open this door. I'm coming up in here. You know, I'm just saying. I know I'm the least intimidating person ever. So, DJ, where I know that people can find you here at f2social.com and the team. Is that the best way to start the dialogue?
Yeah, at F2 Social, there's a fillable form there. And then, I mean, our emails are all there. So here's a real live moment. I need to grab my charger, otherwise my laptop.
Your what?
My charger. Otherwise, my laptop is gonna die.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I have something I can talk with him about while you're gone.
Okay, if you want to.
Yeah. While DJ's doing that, I wanted to tell you guys we're actually working with F2. My brand is Loren Michaels Harris LLC. Right now we are, and I wanted to give you guys a look at so you can come and see for yourself. If you keep an eye out on all my socials and the following people here. If you wait a minute, I want to get this off so you can see everything. Wait a minute, let me get this off. Okay, so my brand, Loren Michaels Harris, Dylan Ali, DJ Brewer, Jordan Crawford. Excuse me. Well, you can't his because he's a minor. But Carson Peterson, that's Chef Carson from Top Chef, the show, Top Chef Junior. We're going to be doing a special May 25th, generational healing in the midst of a pandemic. We can either survive behind the mask or thrive behind it. So mark your calendars. All of the publicity that you'll be seeing on our socials over the next couple weeks leading up to the 25th of the month, we have F2 to thank for. So we've got some video stuff coming out. And so we'll give you more of that as it becomes available. So mark your calendars and keep your eyes on, keep your ears on, and tell a friend and share as you see it available. DJ, yes. I want to switch gears here really quick, and then we can come back to the company at the end and let people know where to find you again. But let's talk about this pandemic, since, you know, that's what the show is going to be about, generational healing. You're a young person. You're a millennial, right? Are you a millennial? Are you that? No, you're that other one. You're even younger. What is it? I'm
a millennial. 90.
Oh, you are? What's the one that comes after that? Generation something?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't keep up with it either. I can't keep up with it either.
People in the comments should know. They can have
somebody. What thing are we in? And what do you even call that? I'm a baby boomer. Honey, am I a baby boomer? Yes. He knows. Brian, my husband knows the order. So it's baby boomer. What are the people right now? Is there someone younger than millennials?
Gen X? No.
So Gen X is older than millennials.
Yeah, Gen X is after you. I'm a Gen X.
Oh, you're a Gen X? How come you're not a millennial?
You're at the tail end.
I mean, you're not a baby boomer.
Baby boomers stopped in 1962.
Because I robbed the cradle. That's why. That's why. Go on, Gen X. I'm married to a Gen X.
Look at you, so proud of yourself.
I am. And I can only say one thing. Who knew? So anyway, well, I can say two things. Girl, I'm just kidding. So anyway, let's take a look at honey, I love you too. Throwing me kisses. So how has your life changed? Because this is different now. You know, there you are with your wonderful mother, and you were on the Mother's Day special last week with Dr. Jan. Your mom looks good.
You look good.
Hey, Bernie, she was here earlier. Yeah, you look great there. And what a beautiful couple. And I love that shirt, that sweatshirt.
Oh, thank you.
And then, but I'm looking at, you know, there you are with the friend. And I took these pictures off of your Facebook account. And, you know, what does it make you feel, DJ, when you see these moments and where they took place and what everybody was doing? And it's been a minute now since you've been able to do that. How is that? How are you dealing with all that?
And it makes me miss it. You know, I have my moments where these four walls are getting too small for me, and I say in my head, let me just go out. Let me just go out and say hi.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just and begin to justify why I'm doing something, and it may not be the best decision for me. And so during this pandemic, I'm learning how to be alone with myself and be my own best friend. And that's something, I think this is why I'm reading more and more of that self-love. I have the time to fully understand some of the things that I didn't necessarily like about myself or was taught to not like about myself. That's hard. That's hard. A lot of Zoom calls, a lot of phone calls, text messages, a lot of keeping yourself busy.
Keeping yourself busy.
You have to also ask yourself, well, what are you going to do when the world kind of opens back up again? What I mean by that is recognizing that we are now building behaviors for ourselves to cope with it. And it's going to have long-lasting effects after.
Oh, look at that. Gen Z.
Go ahead,
And
Eric.
then Gen Alpha. That's harder to keep up with than the phones. You know, is it an iPhone 9X, 22C, or, you know, oh my goodness. I didn't even know I was married to a Gen X, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. Let me ask you this, DJ. You guys opened up. I heard it this morning on the news. Yesterday, wasn't it?
Yep.
That the bars and stuff opened back up. And I was listening to Alexa so I could hear the sound bite, and it sounded packed in some bar there. So are you going to run right out, or are you going to sit in the cut and see what happens?
I've definitely had my dumb moments. So, you know, I've had my dumb moments, but I will not be in a large group gathering in a bar or whatever that may be.
How do you feel about that? I mean, it's just your opinion, but how do you feel about them opening the bars back up? And I want to know, is it like restaurants, can only a certain amount of people come in, and are they? I heard that the guy that did the report said they're not social distancing, and most of the people in that bar did not have a mask on.
Yeah, so I
Oh.
live in a pretty busy area. I live off of a street that has all the bars, so I don't know what that street's gonna look like. I understand people want to get back to their normal way of living, so they might be justifying and saying, I just want to get back to the way life was. And that's why they hop into the bars and stuff, which is fine. I just won't do it for myself, given the fact that what's going to happen 2 weeks later? What's going to happen 3 weeks later?
Yeah.
We all have to think a little bit beyond the emotional feel and want to go see your friends. When you put those photos up, I was like, man, I want to go see every single person that I just saw in that.
That's why I put those up before I asked you, because I knew that would push the truth off your tongue. So, but you know, I don't know why I hit that. Oh, maybe there's one on the way. Are you thinking of a shameless plug to throw?
No, but
get one ready, because I'm going to ask you to provide a couple shameless plugs before we get out of here.
I just want to answer this one. It is very confusing too, right? So Milwaukee, I think, at one point didn't have the at-home safe order, and then they lifted it. So I don't watch the news as much. My mom sends me all the updates. But I do it because I know my boundaries and I live alone. And so if I'm constantly feeding that all the time, it's not healthy for my brain. But
Zach's there, obviously. I don't think Erin's on the show. Is not. I don't know. She could be. Anybody that's in an area where bar traffic is now open to go and partake and invite, put it in the comments. I'm anxious. Are you staying home for a while? Are you going right out? Now, the real test, DJ, what are you going to do tonight when your friends start calling? Because, see, that was Thursday night. That was a school night. Tonight is the night. It's Friday night. Just got paid. You know, got my, what's it called? Stimulus. And I got my, what's that thing that people get? Unemployment. Yeah. So what are you going to do when the phone calls and the opportunities and the beckoning and the invites start pouring in? Meet me down the street. Yeah. What about if you want to go out for air and now you're walking past places for the last couple of months have been silent? Now you can hear the crowds and you can hear the bustling. How tempting will that be? Do you trust yourself enough to go out and watch from afar, or are you just going, what you going to do?
It will be very tempting. I'm not going to lie. I will probably have my mask. I will have my mask and my gloves with me.
So you think you'll go in, but you'll...
No. I'll sit there and go back and forth and then tell myself to just go home. Just go home.
So what about those people that call you, friends or stuff? Will you just let them, that's your decision, go for it? Or will you try to sway them to your side of thinking?
I think you need to have a conversation with yourself on either whatever. Someone taught me this just this weekend. A lot of people say set boundaries. A good friend told me about limitations. What are your limitations for yourself? So having the conversation with yourself before those conversations start with your friends and saying, I'm would love to see you, but I'm a little nervous about the lift. I prefer to stay home for a few more weeks. But let's hop on Zoom or whatever.
Yeah,
Well,
just to be safe.
just to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Zachary says the Supreme Court made the wrong decision in overturning the safer at home with little or no time for businesses to respond. And I agree completely from where I sit here. But you know, they're not playing that here in Illinois. Lori Lightfoot and Governor Pritzker, they shoot. We'll till June probably, but I'm okay. What's this, Robert? Just remember, humor is born of pain. Just attempting to make any rational sense of what the former in-laws did was okay. That's you know, Robert. I love Brian. He's a super fan, and Robert will be there'll be 3 or 4 shows going on, and you never know which one he's responding to. Thank you, Robert. Julius Mercer in the house. Hi, Julius. Julius has a wonderful book, by the way, you guys. Julius, put your link in, would you? He was a potential Olympian, and some things happened in his life, but wonderful, wonderful guy. Great show with Misty Lane, by the way, Julius. Proud of you, my man. So listen, let's go to, where am I? Oh, okay. Let's go to what's around the corner. So let's talk positivity. Let's talk tomorrow. Where do you see F2 on the other side of this pandemic?
Yeah. Well, here's where we stand, right? We don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic. We don't know the minute we open up, we can close back up again. And a lot of businesses are having that tough conversations with themselves, saying, do we put money into marketing efforts online because we didn't do it in the past, or do we just wait to be lifted and then operate again? For F2, our goal is to help again those, you know, the restaurants, the little boutique shops,
sure,
in whatever area, allow them, because the price points are there for them to be able to afford it.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Have you seen an influx of queries, discovery calls, people going, can we talk about this because of the pandemic and the restrictions and just the need to find a way to keep that income flowing?
I've seen a lot of creativity. I've seen friends that work at boutique stores that are closed, but they're in the store and they're posting the clothing with the price and saying, call in or whatever. Everyone's trying their best, right? It's a very reactive approach rather than being proactive about it. And I think it's because
good point.
A lot of the times, owners of restaurants or small boutique shops, they don't want to put the funds or don't think they could put the funds, or it becomes overwhelming when they see agency and they're like, ooh, all right, it doesn't have to be that way. Go ahead.
DJ, how important is the trust in the relationship between the brand and in a company like yours? I want people to understand that. Are there any signs that we should look for when we're out there doing our due diligence, shopping for someone to represent our brand in social media? How do we know if they really, are there any tips that you can give us as how to know when you're working with the right kind of company?
Yeah, so with F2, we lay out our beliefs on a few things because we're a little bit different, like the one on branding. Branding is great, but we believe in sharing your message and sharing your voice because that evolves. Another one that we share with our clients is we don't believe in vanity metrics.
Good point.
Engagement is nice, but the highest number or the highest likes doesn't really speak much to anything when they don't convert.
Explain vanity metrics. Somebody out there may not understand exactly what that means, but
yeah. So like if you go on LinkedIn or Facebook, the amount of likes that someone has on their posts,
views, all kinds of stuff,
all that now shows you that you're worth my time, essentially.
So DJ, are vanity metrics the same? Are they synonymous with when you boost a post?
What do you mean by boost a post?
When you boost a post, you put some dollars behind it. And instead of having, 300 views, you put $25 behind it on Facebook, and now you have 8,000 views. No. Is that the same as a vanity metrics?
No, I don't believe so, because
right.
when you're boosting it the way you're boosting it for reach of the message.
Exactly.
The rest of
but when DJ know a little something, y'all.
When you're focused on
Ooh.
vanity metrics, who knew? When you're focused on vanity metrics like
Girl, I'm just kidding.
that, and you post something and you're not getting the amount of likes that you want, and you decide that you have to take it down. And then, no, don't tie your numbers to what your message is bringing out there. As long as one person resonates with it, and as long as one person converts, whether that might be going to your website or your IG or whatever that may be, your webinar, it's about the consistency. Again, we want to consistently be in front of our followers' faces. Look at Zach out here.
I'm standing to look over the banner to see it all. Zach says, I'll be taking part in some small gatherings and catch-ups, but I won't be hitting the bars or large gatherings just yet. That won't happen until June, though. So he's already laid it out. He's storyboarding his future as I'm secluded in northern Wisconsin for the next 2 weeks. So, okay, so that's nice to hear. It's just great. Young people, I give you guys a lot of kudos. I trust the majority of your decisions, the majority. And I trust, one thing I do trust is I'm trusting in F2 because you and I are about to start work. We've already started working together. And so I'm very excited. I've not laid this responsibility in front of anybody so far. And this is my 4th year doing this. So I feel pretty confident that I'm doing the right thing with you guys. And I'm looking forward to all the great things that we're going to do together. I just want to say one more time up on the screen, you guys, mark your calendars on all your socials. Well, you'll be seeing more and more about this special television event through E360 TV. May 25th, it's a Bathrobe Moment special, generational healing in the midst of a pandemic, featuring DJ Brewer, who you see in the middle there, Dinan Ali, one of F2's clients, Lauren Michaels Harris, another one of F2's clients now, Jordan Crawford, a 13-year-old from New Jersey, and of course, Chef Carson Peterson from California from season 2 of Top Chef Junior. So make sure you don't miss that. DJ, thank you so much for everything today. It's a pleasure. If you had a chance to leave, which you do have, a Jerry Springer's final thought today to people, what would you have to say?
Really learn to love yourself. Because there's a lot of noise out there, and you can get validation from everywhere and anywhere. But there's going to be a turning point and a tipping point. Which one are you gonna listen to? I hope to the turning point, you turn back around and you do a little self-love and reflection.
Amen. And really quick, I want to throw this up there one more time, you guys. There's the website, f2social.com. And if you are into the Instagram world, at F2Social. So go and make sure that you can contact DJ and his team over at F2 and continue the dialogue. You never know. It's not going to kill you to just reach out and get your questions answered. DJ, thank you so much. Be safe. Have a great weekend. Trust your instincts when it comes to making those decisions now. And for the rest of you out there, have a wonderful weekend. Join me Monday when, David Dobreski. He's an attorney out of New York who has a really great thing he's been doing virtually, touring the country, visiting Toastmasters. I met him in one that I visited in Florida, and he was there, and he's gone around and he's done 80, 90 in the last couple of months. So we're going to talk about his travels and what he does and how he feels about living in New York in the hotbed, what was once the hotbed of this pandemic. So join us. Now, I want to remind you guys too, don't forget tonight at 7:00, it's part 2 of my docuseries, Forgotten Voices. Tonight, I have 5 nurses, and from operating room nurses to COVID trauma nurses from all over. A couple are from New York in the hardest hit hospitals, and they're coming to lay it down tonight. And you might want to check in and check them out, because every one of them says, don't call us. We don't see ourselves as heroes. And you're going to find out why they feel that way and how it makes them feel every time they hear us calling first responders heroes. It might surprise you, but they're on the front line. So join us tonight over on Bathrobe Moments right here. Also streaming live on all of the platforms. So please join us, and you're going to walk away a changed person. I promise you that. DJ, have a great one. God bless you.
Loren, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I'll see you guys on the other side. See you Monday. Hopefully I'll see you tonight.